In the riverine town of Operosa, where the air always smelled of salt, smoke, and gossip, lived a woman named Ebiera Calada. If laziness had a chief priest, Ebiera would have worn the crown proudly. Her laziness was not the tired kind, not the "I work too hard" kind. It was the dangerous kind, the kind that makes a person sit still while their mind plans wicked shortcuts. People in Operosa woke up before sunrise. Fishermen pushed their canoes into the river while the sky was still dark. Women swept their compounds and prepared food for the day. Traders tied their wrappers and hurried to the market. But in Ebiera's house, silence, snoring, sleep thick like palm oil. Ebiera and her husband, Tari Calada, slept like two logs abandoned by the riverside. Their mattress was old, their ceiling leaked when it rained, and their generator had not worked in years. But neither of them lifted a finger to change anything. Work was their sworn enemy. While others struggled to survive, Ebiera believed life owed her comfort. "Why should I suffer?" she often said, "when my blood is suffering abroad for me." Ebiera had 5 siblings, and every single one of them had escaped the claws of poverty. One lived in London, another in America, one in Canada, one in Germany, and the last in Dubai. They worked long hours, sent money home, and cared for their aging mother with pride. They remembered hunger. They remembered sleeping on bare floors. They remembered promise. Ebiera remembered none of that. Every month her phone vibrated with alerts, foreign money converted into naira, and every month she danced like a possessed woman. "Tari, come and see," she would shout. "Tamuno has sent money again." But joy never stayed long in Ebiera's heart. "If they sent N80,000, she complained. "If they sent N150,000, she hissed. "If they sent N300,000, she insulted them. "Is this what I'm worth? After everything I suffered for them?" They have forgotten where they came from. She never remembered that those same siblings were feeding her and her husband. Never. One afternoon, as the sun roasted the zinc roof like punishment, Tari sat on their broken sofa. The springs poked his back like thorns. His eyes were tired, eyes of a man slowly drowning in shame. "Ebiera," he said quietly, "this life, it's not good." Ebiera turned sharply. "What life? This waiting, this begging, depending on your siblings every month. I feel bad." Her eyes darkened. "Bad?" she echoed. "Are you a man or a child?" Tari swallowed. "Maybe we should do something, learn a trade. Start small." "Shut up," Ebiera snapped. "Do you know what my mother suffered to raise us? Do you know what we ate when we were young? Now they are abroad enjoying life, and you want me to go and suffer?" Tari went silent. He had learned that silence was safer than arguing with his wife. From that day, he stopped talking about work. They returned to their routine. Sleep, eat, watch TV, wait for alerts, empty lives, hollow days, until the drumbeat of death arrived. One Tuesday morning, while Ebiera was still half asleep, her phone rang. She answered with irritation. "Who is disturbing my sleep?" "Ebiera, it's me, Tamuno." The voice on the other end sounded heavy, tired, broken. Ebiera sat up. "Yes? What is it? When are you sending money?" There was silence, then a sigh. "Our mother's dead." The words landed like a slap. Ebiera's phone almost slipped from her hand. "What?" she whispered. "Mama?" "She died in her sleep yesterday, peacefully." Ebiera screamed, she wailed, she rolled on the bed, she beat her chest. But only the ancestors knew if her tears were real or rehearsed. "When are you coming?" she cried. "When will we bury her?" "We will all come next month," Tamuno said. "All 5 of us. She deserves a proper burial." When the call ended, Ebiera stopped crying immediately. Her tears dried like spilled water on hot sand. Her eyes changed. Something dark walked into her mind. All 5 of them, together. with foreign money. She smiled, not a smile of grief, a smile of calculation. "Tari!" she called sweetly. Her husband shuffled out. "What happened?" "Our siblings are coming home for burial," she said. "All of them." "That's good," Tari replied. "At least family will gather." Ebiere leaned closer, her voice low. "They will come with money." Tari frowned. "So?" "We won't beg again," she whispered. "We will take it." Tari froze. "Take? How?" Ebiere's smile widened. "We kidnap them." The room went silent. Tari jumped up. "Have you lost your mind? These are your blood." "Blood doesn't pay bills," she replied coldly. "Money does." Tari shook. "This is a crime. They will kill us." "We won't do it ourselves," she said calmly. "We will hire professionals." Fear battled greed in Tari's chest. He should have run. He should have refused. Instead, he asked the question that sealed his fate. How? And that was the moment the drum began to beat. The burial month arrived. The town of Oparosa buzzed like a disturbed beehive. Canopies were set. Goats bleated. Drums were tested. Food vendors sharpened knives. One by one, the siblings arrived. Hugs, tears, memories. But Ebiere watched. She studied movements, roots, timing. At night, she made quiet calls. "Yes, tomorrow evening." "Gray car. Don't fail me." The first disappearance happened on a Thursday. Kiki, the one from America. She left to visit a friend. She never returned. By midnight, panic swallowed the compound. Calls, shouting, crying. Then the ransom call came. And 20 million. The family scrambled. They borrowed, they begged, they paid. Kiki returned alive, but broken. That night, while prayers filled the house, Ebiere sat alone. Her phone vibrated, and 10,000 credited. She smiled. "One down," she whispered. "4 to go." And the talking drum echoed softly in the distance. After Kiki returned from captivity, nothing in the Collada family was ever the same. She came back thin, quiet. Her eyes no longer rested on faces. They floated somewhere far away like a soul still trapped in darkness. When people hugged her, she flinched. When doors slammed, she jumped. At night, she screamed in her sleep. The family thanked God. They slaughtered a goat. They prayed loudly. But Ebiere thanked money. She hid in the bathroom that night, staring at her phone like a lover. 10 million. She had never seen such money in her life. Her hands shook, not from fear but excitement. "This is just the beginning," she whispered. The days after the first kidnapping were heavy. Fear sat in every room like smoke. Nobody went out alone anymore. Phone batteries were charged constantly. Every unfamiliar sound triggered panic. Tari could barely eat. At night he heard things, drums, not real drums, no, it was inside his head. Boom, boom, boom! He would wake up sweating, his heart racing. "Ebiere," he whispered one night, "this thing, it's too much." She rolled over lazily. "Did they die?" she asked. "No." "So sleep." But Tari couldn't sleep. He had started seeing Kiki's face when he closed his eyes. He had started hearing his dead mother's voice in his dreams. And the drum kept beating. 2 weeks later, it happened again. This time it was Soma, the brother from Canada. Early morning, quiet road. He was driving to meet an old school friend when a vehicle blocked him. Men appeared, guns raised, orders barked, gone. By noon, chaos exploded. By evening, the call came. And 35 million. People screamed, some collapsed, others prayed. The family sold land, they emptied accounts. They borrowed with shame. They paid. Soma came back alive, but not whole. He refused to speak, refused to eat, refused to sit alone. When he saw Ebiere, he held her hand tightly and said, "Sister, I thought I would die." Her lips trembled. "God saved you," she replied softly. But inside, her heart was dancing. Another alert arrived that night, another share. Tari watched her smile and felt something crack inside him. Then came Nene, taken from a shopping plaza, and 25 million. Then Ike, grabbed late at night, and 18 million. Each time the family bled. Each time Ebier grew richer. Each time Tari grew thinner. By the time Ike returned, the family was broken. No land left, no savings, no pride, only trauma, only silence, only unanswered questions. How do kidnappers know our movements? Why always us? Why during this burial? But nobody suspected Ebier. She cried the loudest, she prayed the hardest, she fainted dramatically. The perfect cover. 2 months passed. The kidnapping stopped. The burial was over. Life tried to return, but fear stayed. That was when Ebiere and Tari disappeared quietly. They claimed hardship. They claimed stress. In truth, they moved into their new mansion, far from town, hidden behind tall gates and silence. 5 bedrooms, swimming pool, 2 brand new cars. Blood money turned into comfort. Ebiere wore gold. Tari drove luxury, but peace never followed them. Tari drank heavily now. One night he slammed his glass down. "We should stop," he said. "We have enough." Ebiere laughed. "Enough? Do you know how many years I suffered?" Tari stared at her. "Suffered? You never worked one day." She slapped him. "Shut up." The drum beat louder that night. Then Ebiere heard a name. Chief Nandu Briggs, her uncle, wealthy, respected, childless, a big fish. When she heard he was coming to town to contribute for the burial remembrance, something inside her ignited. "Last one," she told Tari. "Then we stop." Tari shook. "This is dangerous." She smiled. "Danger is afraid of me." Chief Nandu arrived quietly. Age had bent his back, but not his dignity. He greeted people warmly. He spoke kindly. Ebiere watched him like prey. 3 days later, he was taken. This kidnapping was clean, silent, fast. When his wife, Ruth Briggs, received the call demanding N50 million, something strange happened. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She asked for proof. When the picture came, she stared at it for a long time. Then she said calmly, "Kill him." The kidnappers thought they misheard. "I said kill him," Ruth repeated. "I will pay you extra." The call ended. The kidnappers were shaken. They called Ebiere. "Madam, your uncle's wife wants him dead." Ebiere froze. Her greed stumbled. "No," she said sharply. "Do not touch him." Tari grabbed the phone. "Release him now." After tense silence, Ebiere offered payment for their trouble. That night, Chief Nandu was dumped alive at his gate. But someone sent Ruth a message, a warning. "Ruth, read it alone in her room." Her heart nearly stopped. She realized someone new, someone close, someone watching. Outside, Chief Nandu stood alive. Inside, Ruth felt death breathe on her neck. And somewhere far away, the drum beat again. Louder, slower, closer. Chief Nandu Briggs did not sleep that night. Even after Papa Timmy untied his hands and helped him inside the house, even after warm water touched his skin and clean clothes replaced the smell of captivity, sleep refused to come. He sat on the edge of his bed staring at the wall. For a long time, he had seen death up close. He had heard men argue about whether to keep him alive or end him. He had tasted fear the way a man tastes blood in his mouth after a fall. Yet the thing that disturbed him most was not the kidnapping. It was his wife, Ruth Briggs. She stood at the doorway earlier that night, frozen, watching him like a ghost return to punish her. Her face had been pale, her lips trembling, her eyes empty. She had not hugged him. She had not cried. She had not even asked what happened. She only said, "Thank God you're alive," and walked away. That was when Chief Nandu knew something was wrong. The next morning, Oparosa woke up buzzing. "Chief Briggs has returned." "They didn't kill him." "God is great." People gathered. Elders came, pastors prayed, police asked questions, but Ruth stayed quiet. She moved around the house like a shadow, answering calls politely, smiling when needed, but inside her mind was burning. They know. Someone knows. She replayed the message again and again. We know what you did. And when the time is right, the whole world will know. Her phone felt heavy in her hand. She deleted nothing. She was afraid. Far away in her new mansion, Ebiera Kalida could not sit still. For the first time since the kidnappings began, her heart was unsettled. She paced the living room, walking barefoot on expensive tiles. What if that woman talks? Tari asked. She won't, Ebiera snapped. She's too guilty. But what if... I said she won't. Yet that night, Ebiera dreamed. She saw her late mother sitting by the riverside, beating a talking drum. Boom, boom, boom. Every beat echoed her name. She woke up screaming. The day of the final burial ceremony arrived like judgment. Operosa dressed in black and white. Canopies covered the open field. Plastic chairs lined the sand. Food boiled in large pots. The air smelled of pepper soup, dust, and expectation. And at the center of it all stood the ancestral drum. Old, carved, sacred. The elders had brought it out to honor the dead. But the elders knew something. When blood is spilled in secret, the drum remembers. The family gathered. The 5 siblings sat together. Kiki's hands shook. Soma stared into space. Nene avoided crowds. Ike barely spoke. Only Ebiera looked strong. She moved around confidently, greeting guests, directing caterers, wiping fake tears. But the village was watching. People had noticed something. How come only her siblings were taken? Why did kidnappers know their movements? Why did misfortune stop after burial? Whispers traveled faster than wind. Chief Nandu arrived late. He walked slowly, supported by a cane. Ruth followed behind him, dressed elegantly, her face calm, but her eyes darted everywhere. She avoided Ebiera. Ebiera noticed and smiled. The ceremony began. Prayers, songs, tributes. Then the chief drummer stepped forward. An old man with eyes like firewood ash. He placed his hand on the drum. Boom. Silence fell. In our tradition, he said, the drum speaks when lies are heavy. Boom. Boom. Today, he continued, the dead are listening. The wind shifted. People stirred uneasily. Suddenly shouting broke out at the edge of the crowd. Police vehicles, men in uniforms. A man was dragged forward, hands cuffed, face bruised. It was Boma, the kidnapper. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The drum sounded once. Boom. A police officer raised his voice. This man has confessed to multiple kidnappings in this town. The crowd murmured. He says he did not act alone. Ebiera's heart stopped. Tari grabbed her arm. No, he whispered. Boma lifted his head. His eyes scanned the crowd, then stopped. On Ebiera. She hired us, he said loudly. That woman! The world cracked. Ebiera screamed. Lies! He's lying. But Boma laughed. She gave us names, movements, cars. He turned to the siblings. Your own sister sold you. Chaos erupted. People shouted. Women cried. Men rushed forward. The drum began to beat. Boom, boom, boom. Tari fell to his knees. I wanted to stop, he cried. Hainu, she forced me. Ebiera tried to run. Police grabbed her. Her wig fell off. Her pride shattered. The drum beat harder. Then a voice rang out, cold, sharp. Let her talk. Ruth Briggs stepped forward. Her hands shook, but her chin was high. She is not the only devil here. Everyone turned. Chief Nandu looked at his wife. What are you saying? He asked softly. Ruth laughed bitterly. She planned to kill you. Gasps exploded. She told the kidnappers to kill you. I heard it myself. I paid part. The crowd froze. Chief Nandu staggered. The drum fell silent. Then, boom! Police turned to Ruth. Her phone was taken. Messages read aloud. Her lover exposed. Her voice recording played. "I said, kill him!" People screamed. The drum beat again. Ruth collapsed. Ibier screamed curses. Tari sobbed like a child. Chief Nandu closed his eyes. The elders shook their heads. The drummer spoke one last time. "The drum has spoken." That night, arrests were made. Sirens echoed. But the story did not end there. Because blood money never leaves quietly, and the consequences were only beginning. That night, Oparosa did not sleep. Police sirens screamed through the narrow roads like wounded spirits. Neighbors stood outside their compounds, whispering, pointing, shaking their heads. Some cried, some cursed, some simply stared into the darkness, wondering how evil had lived so comfortably among them. By morning, the truth had spread like wildfire. Ibiera Kalada, the woman who cried the loudest during the kidnappings, was the architect of the nightmare. Tari Kalada, the quiet, broken husband, was her accomplice. Ruth Briggs, the respected chief's wife, had ordered her own husband's death. The talking drum had spoken, and when the drum speaks, nobody escapes. Ibiera sat in the back of the police van, wrists cuffed, eyes wild. She screamed until her throat went dry. "I didn't kill anyone. I only wanted what was mine. They deserved it!" But the officers ignored her. In another van, Ruth sat quietly, her face blank, her expensive wrapper stained with dust. Her phone lay in an evidence bag glowing with betrayal. For the first time in her life, money could not save her. Chief Nandu Briggs watched everything from his compound. He had refused to go to the station. His heart was tired. 15 years of marriage collapsed in one afternoon. He remembered the nights Ruth turned away from him. The coldness, the distance, the ambition in her eyes. He remembered thinking it was age. Now he knew it was hatred. He sat alone in his living room and wept. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, like a man whose soul had been ripped open. The siblings were taken to the hospital that night, not for injuries, for shock. Kiki could not stop shaking. Soma stared at the wall for hours. Nene vomited repeatedly. Ike broke down crying like a child. Their own blood, their own sister, sold them like goats. When the police told them everything, how movements were shared, how routes were given, how ransom money was divided, something inside them died forever. 2 days later, Ebier's mansion was sealed. Police searched every room. They found cash hidden inside walls, jewelry buried in flower pots, documents linking payments to kidnappers, blood money. Everything was seized. The house that greed built collapsed in silence. Tari broke first. In custody, he confessed everything. His voice trembled as he spoke. "I warned her," he said. "I begged her to stop. But greed deafened us." When they asked him why he didn't report her, he lowered his head. "I was weak. And weakness in the face of evil is also guilt." Ruth's trial shook the state. People could not believe it, a wife who ordered her husband's death. Recordings were played. Her calm voice echoed through the courtroom. "Kill him." Some people fainted. Her lover was arrested trying to flee the country. Her businesses were frozen. Her name became poison. She sat stone-faced as judgment was passed. Life imprisonment. She never blinked. But when she was led away, she turned and saw Chief Nandu standing. Their eyes met. For a moment, something flickered in her face. Regret? Fear? Hate? No, one knew. Ibiera's sentencing day came last. The courtroom was full. Villagers, journalists, family. Her siblings sat together, silent. Ibiera looked at them and laughed. "Now you're angry?" she said loudly. "After all the suffering we shared?" Kiki stood up. Her voice was calm. "We suffered together, but we didn't become monsters. Ibier's laughter died. The judge spoke. Multiple counts. Conspiracy, kidnapping, financial crimes, life imprisonment, no parole. The gavel fell. Boom, like the drum. Years passed. Operosa healed slowly. The drum was returned to the shrine, but people never forgot. Children were warned with the story. Don't be like Ebiera. Greed eats its owner. Blood money never rests. In prison, Ebiera aged quickly. Her beauty faded, her pride dissolved. At night, she heard drums. Boom, 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 she screamed often. Tari stopped speaking completely. Ruth grew thin and quiet. Chief Nandu donated his wealth to charity and lived alone. The siblings moved abroad again. They never returned together. Some wounds never heal. One evening, years later, an elder sat by the riverside telling children a story. When the drum speaks, he said, it does not shout. It remembers. The children listened. The river flowed, and somewhere in the distance a drum beat echoed softly. Boom.